Welcome everyone to our live Q&A of the Ask the Experts series. My name is Heidi Liu and I'm the Strategic Partnerships Manager at Supermove. We're on a mission to make moving simple for everyone with the moving software that brings your whole team from your operations to dispatch to sales to your coordinators all in one system. And today I'm joined by Tim Campbell and look forward to talk about marketing and networking specific to the moving industry, and really excited to just have a conversation today. A brief bio about Tim. He's an Ohio State Buckeye, like me, and resides in Mansfield, Ohio. And over the past 40 plus years, he's worked up through the business from being a driver to becoming the CEO, and is now the Chief Vision Officer and Sales Director of Dearman Moving and Storage. So we're here today to learn from you, Tim, and pick your brain about networking and marketing. I'll start off by asking some of the submitted questions. And as a reminder for those tuning in, there is a Q&A box. So type in your questions anytime, and I will be checking that at the end. All right, so to kick it off, Tim, tell us your story. Tell us, how did you get into the industry and what has kept you in it?
I was born into the industry. My father was involved in the startup of Dearman back in 1963, kind of worked his way up through operations to the president of the company. And my brother and I both got involved in it, like middle school, high school, going out on jobs, working for road drivers. I don't think either of us really wanted to be in the industry, and we kind of just got sucked back into it. I went to college a few years and then kind of came back, started helping, started in the accounting, claims, started doing some sales, worked over to operations, and then worked up into the general manager type CEO role for last, I don't know, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So been all my life, and so that's kind of how I've been in it. What do I like about it? What drew me back to it?
What has kept you in it?
Kept me in it? Actually, technology. I love technology, and technology has really made the moving industry exciting for me. Our agency has been one of the, I love innovation. I love doing things that make things better, create a better experience for the customer, create a better experience for the teams or the crews. And we've experienced a lot of that coming in from, the 80s, 90s, 2000 up to today.
If you weren't in the moving industry, what would you be doing today?
I would be doing computer something.
Okay.
I love computers.
Tim's coding in the background. So I just want to kind of jump into kind of like a marketing focus to start with. So in the moving industry, I have found that there are companies that are on one end of the spectrum where they don't do any marketing and they just rely on word of mouth. And then there's this other spectrum where they are almost they are a digital marketing company, it seems like, who owns trucks, right? Like I've even reached out to companies and they say, oh, like we have one truck. And meanwhile, they make it seem like they are a very legit official company just based on their digital presence. And maybe that's me really buying into their digital presence. So how do you view marketing at Dearman Moving? And is there a perfect balance of marketing, like, maybe paid marketing, organic marketing, and, we're just relying on like free marketing, word of mouth?
Mm-hmm. So we used to be one of those businesses that, our marketing strategy was buy ads in the yellow book pages.
Okay.
And the bigger ad and try to get to the front and wait for people to call you. And that approach was pretty much industry wide. And over the last 10, 15 years, we've really started getting more aggressive with the Google and the different forms of outbound marketing and digital marketing, and even inbound marketing with that, SEO, blog writing, vlogs, pay-per-click, all of those different things. And some things work really well, some don't. Some work for good, some products, some don't. There is a good balance, a perfect balance. When you figure out what that is, let me know. Because it's like our business is so seasonal, and there's like a rhythm to it. And so it's like there's so much about timing, and some of the things that drive the timing is like, what are the you really got to watch your leading indicators. It's like, okay, and that should be driving your spend. So if, the phone call starts slacking down, or the web visits start slacking down, or appointments start dropping off, then you need to be looking. It's like, okay, we need to turn up some knobs here to keep the marketing up, to keep the appointments up, to keep driving the business.
I know how low margin moving companies can be. And so in terms of spending money and not knowing if it's going to result in anything, isn't that very scary for you as a moving company, or any company probably starting off?
It is, and I think that was probably the most difficult transition for us was, I talked to some companies, and the amount of their budget that they were spending directed towards marketing and advertising was just like, wow, that's a lot more than we're spending. And so, we started looking at that and started driving it. But the biggest thing is track it. Don't just go out and spend money. Know that your return on investment is there. And if it's not working for you, shut it off. We did postcards for a long time, and we really started tracking it. Man, we're spending thousands of dollars in just a really low return of investment there. So we started directing that money to other areas. And we haven't given up on postcards. We're shifting how we do it.
Digital postcards.
Yeah, absolutely. Digital postcards, and try to get more efficient with it, try to drive the cost down of postcards, be very targeted on our marketing with postcards, and then driving our postcards to back to our landing pages and our things within our digital campaigns.
Yeah, you talk about tracking, and I think me talking to a lot of moving company owners and different roles in the industry, I find that data is not utilized very much. So do you have any tips around like how to kind of, what's like the main KPI, like what's the main thing that you should be tracking, or like something easy that people should be doing in their marketing today if they're not tracking anything?
So on our sales team, we track everything from web forms submitted, web visits, inbound phone calls. We have our program called DialPad, where we can see where all of our inbound phone calls, what phone numbers are working, which ones aren't. We track pay-per-click conversions. We track conversions from the website. We track how many estimates we do a week, how many we close a week, how many new appointments we schedule a week. So, and everybody on the team has responsibility for these numbers. And we have a weekly meeting with the sales team. We have a scorecard, and they show up in there. And if we start to see things go into the red, then we really address those and look at those and say, okay, we need to be looking at something there. What can we do differently?
Yeah. So you guys really are data driven and really making decisions based on, or shifting dollars based on how the data is showing you what to do.
Correct. Yeah. It's really funny because when my dad got into business, and I remember they read that they knew how their business did about 6 months after the business closed. That's when they got their financials. And now we're making decisions like weekly. It's like we need to turn this knob up, and we need to spend more here. And it's like a year and a half from now, it's too late.
I think that there are a lot of industries that work in a similar model, like what's working, what's not, and adjust weekly versus make adjustments every quarter or every year. Mm-hmm. Just reading Steve's comment, because Steve Weidekamp goes, old school thought, quality of product is one of your best marketing tools. Quality of product. Okay, definitely. Yeah, your quality of service. Mm-hmm. To Heidi's original point, one truck with big marketing for a company that doesn't meet a customer's expectations will have to spend a lot more dollars. Yeah.
So referrals is something that we're huge in. And so I would say probably over half of our business comes from, call-ins or referrals, people that know us, people that connect in us through groups that we're part of on, events that we attend, things we speak at, things like that. So that's always your best leads, your best customers. They're the easiest to sell. You're not even selling them. They want to do business with you. So all of our team are involved in different referral groups. They're involved in different organizations within the community, the chamber, Rich and Young Professionals, which is like a younger version of the Chamber of Commerce, young entrepreneurs that are up and coming. Yeah. We serve with the Chamber of Commerce and do events. We sponsor events that our customers are going to go to. Knowing your customers is really important. Where your customers going to be. So we get involved in those things. You have to be active in your community, and you do have to drive. You have a great product, or it doesn't matter. Your marketing is going to be super expensive, and you're not going to have a great rate on return.
Yeah, I love your point about being active in your community. I mean, I live in New York City, and there's a ton of advertisements for moving companies. I guess mainly maybe social media, but in terms of like being active, I don't see very many companies in New York City be actively involved in the community, but maybe it's because we're bombarded by so much all the time. So how do you have tips for how companies can get active in their community if they're not doing anything today? Like what's like a good place to start?
Well, like for a big thing that we like is like our Chamber of Commerce has like monthly events, and oftentimes 3, 4, maybe 10 of our people from our team will be at one of those events. And it's just getting to know, I mean, politicians, other business leaders, other leaders in the industry, other small businesses. So that's a great way to network and connect. And there's usually food and beverages, adult beverages and things like that. So it's really easy. And especially it's a lot of fun, and it's very easy if you go with a team. Because you're not there by yourself. I would encourage 2 or 3 of you going to an event and doing it together. That way you don't feel so, you're not a wallflower.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot because when you're going alone, you're like, all right, I'm here to collect business cards, here to give out business cards, and feels a lot like work. Are you guys a part of any official networking groups? Like you talked about being part of the Chamber of Commerce, and that's I'm sure like a mix of a lot of different industries that come to these events. But yeah, are you part of any official networking groups?
Yeah,
and is that helpful?
We are on 4 different networking groups. 4 of our team members are. Networking groups are awesome, but the best way to be successful in a networking group, though, isn't just by showing up the group once a week and giving leads. The best way with networking groups is to do one-on-ones with the people in your group. It's like if you got 30 people in your group, try to meet with half of them in a year, or better than half of them. Because I get a lot more referrals and a lot more relationships by having those one-on-ones. They learn a lot more about you. They learn more about your values. You learn a lot more things about them. And you see a lot more opportunities to help each other and support each other than you do that 60-second commercial you get in a referral group.
Yeah.
So you really jump in. Don't just go to it and say, oh, what's in it for me? I'm not big on the groups that are just about referrals. Most of our groups, they're really close-knit groups, and they really protect the culture of the group. There's some organizations that are just really about referrals, and every week you got to get referrals. And there's a lot more indicators of how healthy a group is. It's like how often the group's getting together, how many referrals you're giving, how many referrals you're getting, or some of those. It's what you're doing to serve in the community together. Do you guys attend other events?
Yeah.
And it's more than just like direct referrals. It's like you can give a referral to somebody, and that can be having them tips on helping them run their business or things, and best business practices. It has nothing to do with giving them actual revenue, a customer.
Yeah, that's the relationship part, which is so important in order to maybe then get business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it fascinating that in the moving industry, we can see the marketing that our competitors do, but in terms of networking, it's very much background work. You don't know how much networking and, like sponsorships, maybe like those are very hidden things. So I don't know how much moving companies are really taking advantage of it, but hearing from you, like Chamber of Commerce, like that's the first time hearing of a company that's really getting involved in that. So I'd be curious to see like how many moving companies actually tap into that, and are they being intentional? Are they spending the time, or are they too busy focusing on other things?
I'm really intentionally even networking with my competitors and networking with other moving companies. I get 1 or 2 phone calls a week from other moving companies, and I schedule a competitor a town over, and we get together several times a year just to get, hey, what's going on, what's best practices. And it's not to steal things from each other. We really like each other. We get along. We enjoy it. It's like we've given him business before. He's given us. We have similar customers, but I've learned a lot from meeting with him, and I think he's learned a lot from meeting with me. And but I talk with a lot of different movers, and there's a guy up in New York I talk to every month. we share best practice ideas, what's working in your agency versus ours. So there's so many ways to network, and that's my role, is really kind of to encourage my team and to do that myself.
Yeah, that's the best role, being
Yeah,
the
wonderful.
networker. That's kind of what I do, which
It's a lot more fun than operations.
I agree. So kind of being the chief vision officer and sales director, I'm curious, like, what are some of the challenges that you face day to day?
Uh, I have a really good sales team, so it's like the biggest thing is trying to manage them
Yeah.
in a way not to overwhelm operations. You know,
Okay.
it's this gas brake pedal thing, and you know, they want to be out and selling, they want to be out marketing, they want to drive the business. And then operations like, hey, wait a second here, we're swamped. Take the
Yeah.
Put off the gas. So it's like, so you have to be creative in how you do that, because you don't want to discourage your sales team and say, no, we don't do that. So what we do is we raise prices, we do things like that. So it's like to naturally slow down instead of just put the brakes on and say, no, you can't sell, because that, make it a little more challenging for the salespeople to sell.
Because so
And
you guys are the sales and ops teams are probably like always communicating with each other, or you guys are making decisions of increasing prices on a daily basis or maybe weekly basis.
we talk about it, and it comes up at our sales meeting very regularly.
Okay.
That's another indicator. We're just kind of watching that. So, on the other side of the organization,
Yeah.
we're just looking how they're doing over there. Are they short? Do they run into capacity issues, or do we need more gas on the sales thing to drive stuff on that side? So
Yeah.
we're always looking at that.
So I'm curious, obviously the residential moving is very seasonal. So how does your marketing spend change throughout the year? And especially when you say that, sales, like operations is telling sales to slow down, is the marketing spend also changed, like, in line with how salespeople are being instructed?
Some of it, like for example, SEO and stuff like that, we pretty much just have a monthly budget for that
Constantly.
so that's kind of set at the beginning of the year. Doesn't change a lot. You might buy leads, you might do more pay-per-click, that kind of stuff in the off season. There's certain things in pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is super competitive in our industry, so it's not. You look at your return on investment, and I'm not a big fan of it. It works really well in our portable storage business. That part of it does well, converts really well. It's pretty reasonable. On the full service side of it, it's not my best. We don't spend as much money there. A little bit of local, but not much. So you do ramp that up. You might buy some leads. There's some lead companies out there that we've bought from over the years, and some are better than others. And again, we track those, and we turn those up. And it's like, if the sales meeting, it's like, hey, we need more leads, and it's like, I might throw some money right then and there and say, okay, we're going to turn that up for a few weeks and spend some money there. And this, so there's about 7 or 8 months of the year that you're really working in your business. And then you got about 4 or 5 months of the year that you really get to work on your business. So we're kind of shifting from working in the business to working on the business. So we're talking about, what are we going to do this next year? How are we going to grow? The easiest time to grow is the fourth and the first quarter. So how are we going to grow in those quarters? What's our marketing plan for next year? What realtors we want to get in front of? Another way to market is realtors are always looking for people to come in and speak to them.
Okay.
That's a great other network thing. So, I mean, same customers and everything, go to a group of realtors and get the opportunity to speak. That's just a win. I mean, and our approach is, we don't ever go and really like talking about ourselves. When we do things, we like to go and bring things that are helpful to them, and that we're a resource, and hey, they're going to call us and ask us questions about moving. We don't go in there to talk about Deerman. That's not our goal. We want them to feel like we brought value to them at their meeting, something that they can use more than we're the mover in town. And when you're that trusted resource, then they're more likely to call, reach out to you, offer you referrals, have you back to speak, all those kind of things.
And are these local real estate agent groups, or do you ever go to like a national convention for, I don't know, real estate?
Never been to a national convention. We just go to local offices, because most of them have like weekly meetings or bi-weekly meetings.
Oh, wow.
They like to have speakers in. So you just, hey, if you're interested, we'll come in and be glad to talk. and it's building a relationship with them. And then, okay, well, now you're more than just this mover that they kind of know. You've actually come in, you've tried to help them be successful, and it's part of building a relationship with them.
Wow, that's really cool. Janet says realtors like when you bring in food.
Yeah.
Everyone loves free food.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So going to crashing realtor meetings, what about are there other I guess industries that you find very helpful to get in front of, not just real estate agents?
Through the chamber, we get opportunities to speak, and we get opportunities to go to different things too. So there's all kind of leadership groups, there's marketing groups. I mean, just like doing things like this, I've had the opportunity to go to chamber events and talk about marketing in a local type atmosphere. So again, it's just it's being involved in your community and being aware of what's going on and connecting to. We have a great team that really connects to. I get messages all the time. We need to go to this event, or we need to be part of this event, or you need to call this person. It's like, so just be really connected to your community and to the communities you're serving.
And know what's going on.
Yeah.
I think either you mentioned it or maybe I brought it up, scholarships and like giving money into the community as a way to like show up. Is that something you guys do? Or
Yeah.
you find that to be
We do
helpful?
scholarships. We like our beer. So we sponsor beer events. There is a toy drive that's happening in a week, I think in a week or so, that we're sponsoring. So we're picking up the bar at the local brewery that night. And everybody that brings a toy to the event gets a free drink. And so we're picking up the bar tab. And we get to go there and meet people and, meet people in our community, other leaders. So it's another opportunity. So things like that. There's a once a month ordeal in our community that's like a big concert. So we donate stuff to them. We donate stories. So, we try to donate things along things that really fit with us. We do a lot of, we also are a Penske and truck rental agency. So we donate a lot of trucks to churches and organizations, and to say, we'll pick it up. So we're always doing stuff like that.
Wow. I don't think I've ever been to an event that's sponsored by a moving company, but maybe it's because I live in New York City. So I need to seek those events out. I would love a free drink in exchange for donating a toy.
Well, and the other thing is, like, it's sponsoring another local company. So they're having the event at a local brewer. So, it's driving business their way. So it's a win-win all the way around.
Yeah. These hyper local events, I think, are key for moving companies. But once again, I really never knew about this. So it'd be kind of cool to see a write-up, like where to start. Like, do you start with sponsoring, or do you start with, joining the local chamber of commerce? So
I would start with chamber of commerce type stuff, and then that leads to the other opportunities, I think.
Yeah, leads to more relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Just to shift really quick, you mentioned in the beginning, if you weren't in the moving industry, you'd be doing some kind of technology something. So I'm curious, what's a piece of technology that you think every moving company should be using?
Supermove, of course.
Besides us, of course.
So we have tons of technology. So we have HubSpot, we have Supermove, we have Dialpad, we have Slack, Zapier. We have Sales Message. We have tons of products, and they're all, we feel like they're all important, but we don't just do technology for the sake of doing technology. We have we want to create a better experience for our customers.
Yeah.
So or our team. So our team is also our customers. So if we can make it easier for our drivers or our salespeople or our customers that are buying from us, that's why we embrace technology. It's not just, I like technology, but I just don't want to be it's not about being geeky and having all the greatest bells and whistles. And we really want our products to connect and talk to each other and support each other. A good CRM is really essential, because we have like a lot of automation in in our office. So, people, leads come in, and then some of the emails, educational videos go out to customers, texts go out to customers. We do not inundate customers with that stuff like, hey, call us, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Everything we do, even the text message we send out to our customers is very, very soft. It's like, we know that we see that you filled out a form or you're interested in moving. We know that you're probably getting inundated with emails and text messages and phone calls. That's not us. If you're interested and want to talk to us, here we are. Here's a number, call us. And a lot softer approach. And that's the one text I get from us until they start. And then we find out a lot of customers really engage back and forth through text. I book a lot of moves just over text. It's having that technology. You want to be doing that. So a texting platform. Stripe is a huge tool that we use, for credit card processing online. Those are the products that we use a lot of.
When did you guys start texting your customers? Has it been a couple of years or?
Yeah, about 2-3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and there's a certain demographic that really likes it. It's that 20 to 45 group that really is in it.
Yeah.
And knowing your customers is super important. We have personas for our customers. We have one's called Overwhelmed Olivia and Retired Roger. And kind of Overwhelmed Olivia is a working mom or a mom, in that 30 to 45 range. Retired Roger is that guy that wants to come in and shake your hands and business in your office and meet you face to face. And it's like, know your customers and how to market to them. So those personas really are important to us.
I want to embody Retired Roger forever. That's really cool. Sweet. So you guys have your personas in order to, for your sales team to like react or kind of like understand how to sell to them or talk to them, communicate with them.
How to market to them, what's important to them. Like I said, you have the customers that they want to do the business over texting. So we want to meet those customers where they're at. And we'll chat and do the texting and do as much as we can that way before we have to do like some kind of visual survey, or sometimes we don't have to if it's a small enough move, or but we want to do an actual survey or an online survey to give an accurate price. But we'll take it as far as we can, that way. Build a rapport, build some comfort.
So you guys are very adaptive to your customers versus just being like, this is how we communicate. You can only reach us via this email.
Yeah. So we went to a virtual phone system 2.5 years ago. So prior to COVID. And we were very virtual before COVID. So when COVID hit, we were all used to working from our cell phones, from laptops, from wherever we were. We didn't need an office to be at. So our phone system follows us wherever we go. And customers aren't just calling from 9 to 5. They're texting and calling on the weekends and after hours. So this phone system allows us all to engage and call them back and leave voicemails. It's another important piece of technology that we like.
What's a piece of technology that you would like to see come out for the moving industry?
Whoever figures out how to make all these pieces talk together. Yeah, and we're getting close to that. We really are. We worked really closely with you guys, and you guys have done a great job of connecting all the pieces, but we found ourselves going in and out of systems. And every time we went in a system to a new system, it was an opportunity to forget something, to transpose a number, to misspell something, to leave out an important piece of data that the next team needed to have. Yeah. And so we've really worked hard over the last year with you guys, and starting here, that's a lead, taking it through sales, go right into the movement and operations, right into finance, and it's consistent throughout. But when you perfect that part and we get that part down, that's what we all want.
Yeah.
Going back and forth and any is awful.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're making the integrations with the van line. So hopefully that really makes a big difference. Well, I want to open it up for any questions. I don't see any Q&A questions yet, but everyone can start typing away. And Tim, did you have any thoughts around anything else around networking? Maybe specifically for small businesses, because that's actually a question I got earlier.
Well, small businesses, the biggest thing is, I mean, we're small, so we don't have a big budget.
Yeah.
So that's why the referral marketing is the best. It's the cheapest marketing you can do. Get involved in your communities, get involved in referral groups, go and speak at realtors, meet people, and get a name out there, and then provide a great product
Yeah.
so that you have a good reputation.
Yeah.
Because it's really cheap marketing that way.
Cheap marketing. That sounds good.
Yeah.
This is not a non-marketing related question, but I did get this question. This is for probably a smaller moving company, how to choose the right truck when you're first starting out.
Oh, just 26-foot box truck. I mean, and in fact, we've shifted to that. We kind of are, that's who we are. We are straight trucks and 700 miles or less. That's our niche customer.
Yeah.
We do have tractor trailers. We do go outside of that, but that's our window, and that's really what we sell to. So, it's non-CDL in today's world, trying to hire and find CDL drivers, it's tough. So non-CDL trucks is always better. It just makes it easier to hire and find people to drive them and train them. So that would be a big thing. That's an easy one there.
Yeah. Well, in New York City, there's so many more Sprinter vans than I've ever seen before. It's because the apartment moves and people don't have trucks to move their own stuff. So that's really popular. Someone said, can we hear about recruiting labor and drivers?
So we actually, that's a great question. We actually tasked our sales and marketing team to own that. So our sales and marketing team says, okay, what are creative ideas and ways that we can drive employees applying, drivers, and things like that. So we came up with some different ideas on the ways to do that. Sales and marketing tracks it. They schedule the interviews for the team to help the operations to be successful. They work on the language and the ads that we like. Run an ad out there for drivers, and you're not even going to show up because every ad out there is running for drivers. So we looked for different ways that we could market to find drivers. And really, movers, our drivers aren't just drivers. There's so much more than that. So driving is just something that they do.
Yeah.
So we started looking for other things that they do and ran our marketing to find those people, and that could also drive. And so our marketing, we weren't targeting the unemployed or the underemployed. We're targeting people that actually have jobs, because your best people are going to come from other companies that they're already happy where they're at. They're a good employee. They're loyal, but they're looking for some new opportunities. Maybe they don't feel valued where they're at, or maybe they can only go, they're loyal where they're at. Maybe they're not happy, but they feel like I just can't go any farther here. So that's some of the things that we've done to try to market.
So the other industries that they might be working in, I don't know, how is that research to figure out where else they're working? Or maybe it's just, I don't know.
We've hired people from factories. We've hired people from telecommunication. So there's like industries that they might be traveling a lot. That's like maybe they're a driver and they're traveling a lot, but they're never home.
Yeah.
So, so we market and we say like part of our deal is at 700 miles. So we're kind of right out and right back if you're out. And like we'll make promises like if you're going out of town, if you're going out over the road, maybe not more than 2 or 3 trips a month. So versus the company they're working for, maybe they're having to go out every week.
Yeah.
And so money's not always the biggest motivator. It's family time's important. It's recognizing that retaining employees is super important. So that's as important too. And when you retain people, your team is also some of your biggest recruiters. So they're out there telling people about the great company they work for, the team they like, or things like that. And how we work on that is our people are not just, they're just not cogs in a machine. They're not just employees here. They have family things going on. They have financial concerns. They have spirituality concerns and things going on. They have health issues and fitness issues and other interests. And they're a well-rounded whole person. And if you realize that and treat them like whole people and you care about them, and if any one of those things is out of whack and you recognize that that's going to affect all other areas,
Yep.
You want to step into that and be comfortable with that and help them through anything that's difficult or anything that's maybe they're struggling with, or you don't want their job to be miserable and causing them to be going through divorce or financial problems or vice versa, so.
Yeah. So pay attention and really care about your people, which
Yeah.
I wish was happening everywhere, but Tim, maybe I'll work for you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm happy. I'm good. But no, I'm just thinking about, I mean, it's almost Black Friday and I have a friend at Amazon and I think he's working 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. as a software engineer at Amazon. So it's pretty crazy.
Our inside team has lunch together almost every day. We sit and eat lunch together. I mean, not everybody may be there, but I mean, as a group we sit. Fridays we have a thing where we unwind and like we have a thing called beer o'clock, and it's about 4 o'clock on Fridays, and it's like we're just gonna revamp the week, and we're just gonna like did a great job and unwind, and just we like being around each other, and we like
it's a family.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I mean, your point about really, giving drivers and, other people, other roles in the industry, really making sure that you're telling them that we are a company that cares about your work-life balance and, we take care of you here. So I think that's awesome. Well, if there are any other questions, Tim, I do want to just tell you how much I appreciate you for spending time to talk to me. And I really loved hearing about your story and think that we all learned a little bit from your expertise. I learned a ton about networking in the local groups and really focusing on building, like making a splash in your community and like really getting involved. So that's something that I'm definitely going to take away from this. Once again, this live Q&A was brought to you by Supermove. Our company is a software platform that brings your whole team to one system and make it as easy to run your business as possible. And if you're not using any moving software today or just curious to see what our platform looks like, you guys can sign up for a demo on our Supermove website and mention that you attended this live Q&A with Tim. So Tim, do you have any last words before I close out?
No, our team and myself, we're available. If anybody wants to call us, ask questions about Supermove, about moving industry questions, whatever, we have those calls all the time. We have 1 or 2 calls a week where we're talking to the moving companies and reaching out and answering questions and talking to them. So feel free to reach out. Our information's Heidi's provided, I think that, but feel free to contact us. We'd love to help any other company be successful. We think it raises the bar for the whole industry. So
yeah, Tim, we need more people like you who are being friendly with their competition and really helping to elevate everyone. So thank you so much for sharing your story. And thank you everyone for attending, and look out for our next event by staying updated on our social media platforms. But thank you, Tim.
thank you.
All right. Yeah.